Hi everyone, it is me, Gabrielle Cunnitston here, or the Fighting Rider, whatever you want to call me. And today I'm gonna have to get to the end of a long time hang up that's been going on between me and VELASCA, sometimes also called the Goddess of Chaos. Now, if everyone knows the background or the of between us or the yesteryear, then everyone knows that Belasca was a foster daughter of Meloja. When Meloja died, she was named queen in her stead after a fight which was lorded by the Windemalt and by the Gaver coming as as a fair fight. So I came back, took the queenship. Velasca didn't like it. Had me and Autolycus at the time, who my mother Xena was dead and was in his body, and I didn't know it at the time, had us put in lockup. After I learned about it being Xena, that we had to fight back against Velasca. So last Barodes, well, whatever Ambrosia, whatever the English word for it is, so she could come back. Sadly, Belasca had enough for her to become a goddess. Called herself the Goddess of Chaos. And she had it out for Ethne. She had it out for me and Xena. We had to get help from Calistro, which Xena was never really a big fault. Had a big yesteryear over. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And after we did our thing, we put Calistro and Belasca in that fire hole. Now, Belasca has not been seen again in our show, only for 2 followings, and that's it. So now I gotta come to an end between it. Look, Belasca, I know me and you have had this bad background, or yesteryear, or saga between, or background or saga between each other. And I know that you don't like me because you think I took the queenship away from you back in the day. And I'm sorry if you felt that way. I'm sorry for you not getting enough love growing up from your mother, whoever she was, and not enough love, I guess, from Meloja, who was your fostered mother. And I just hope that I forgive you for everything you said and everything you did. I haven't forgotten anything. I haven't forgotten it, but I have forgiven it. Well, Gabrielle, I too should say that I am sorry for everything I did to you, to Xena, to Autolycus, to Ethne, to everyone else I have wronged. And thank you for forgiving me. Yes, I had a bad childhood. My mother, who you all know was a Teutonic or a strong woman, was slain or killed. Meloja took me in as her foster daughter, but I felt that I should be next in stake for the queenship, but sadly that went to you because there was Therese, who was her sister, who died, and you took on all her rite of caste, which I felt should have been mine. Then I came back, had a fight with Meloja. She died. The Gaver coming ruled it a fair fight, so I became the queen. You came back, took that from me, and somehow, someway, Autolycus, which Xena, your mother, soul was in his body at the time, fucked everything up. You did, so did Autolycus. So did Ethne at the time. I got some whatever ambrosia, whatever the English word for it is, I don't know. Food of gods, whatever you want to call it. And I got big. Oh, no. Take that back. I became a goddess. and I wanted to become the goddess of madness. And yeah, it almost worked, except for you and Xena and Calistro being thrown into it. And I spent a lot of years in that hellhole, that fire hole that I was put into. Because unlike Calistro, I never got out. Well, yeah, you were in you were in the Xena game. Yeah, and that was the only time I ever done. I was ever, and then that was in that Xena game. I did get a doll made, which you know. Well, Gabrielle, since you were bold enough and fearless enough to forgive me for what I've done, I guess I'm bold enough and fearless enough to forgive you. You know, to say thank you for and you forgive me. The hang up, the bind, whatever you want to call it, it's over. It's done. Well, before you go, Velasca, didn't you come from Ames? Yes, I came from Ames. Back, I came from Ames back in December of 9 between 99 YL. You know. So yes, I did come from Ames, which was formerly Hills. And neither of them are around anymore. Yeah, well, that was me having a talk with Velasca, the goddess of madness, or whatever you want to call her. And I guess there are some folks out there who don't know about Heels or Ames. Well, before I end the film, a long time ago, before Walmart came before Walmart came to West Mifflin Borough, before it came to North Brazils Township, there were there was Kmart, and between Kmart there was another shop a long time ago called Heels, and Heels sold, well, they sold all kinds of stuff, toys, clothing, you name it. The only thing they didn't really sell, they didn't sell food or anything or drinks. That wasn't what they did. You know, they did have hot dogs. They had pretzels. Well, then years later, Hills got bought by Ames, and Ames started to do all the things that Hills did. But then Ames started going out of business towards the end of between 99 while going into 20. And at the one time, Ames did sell the Xena dolls. So that's where some of our Xena dolls came from. At least Xena's first one came from Ames. Velasca came from Ames. The first time we got Autolycus, he came from Ames too. So anyway, it is what it is. So if you like that film, then follow us over here at Xena Pappas or Xena Fighter Queenly. I'm Gabrielle Kunitston, or the Fighting Rider, and I'll see you later. Bye.